I think gratitude is probably the first step to prevent jealousy. If we think about being thankful for even what you have now, it sets the stage for the delivery of something new. So the great way to prevent jealousy, a great way to prevent the block of a blessing in your life, is to be thankful right from the beginning. And then even if the emotion surfaces, for whatever reason it surfaces and you feel angry, again be thankful for what you have, because the blessing will probably show up right in the middle of your angry moment and you may miss it. So the blessings are all around us, the blessings are in us, they're awaiting you to reach out and take it. And it's unfortunate that many of us get caught in the trap of being jealous of what others have. And as you mentioned, the toxicity it produces in our own spirit, our physical body, and our relationships, our finances, it affects everything we do in life.
Last part of it, you know, when you have reached those different steps, and I'm going to repeat them. The number one was to acknowledge what is it that I'm jealous of, or who. The second one is to open my heart to the possibility that I too can have that, whatever that is. And then the third one is allowing God to deliver. Say yes when He does, and then be grateful. And the last one is, you know what, when you live from that place, is how cool would that be? You just spend your time inspiring others around you to live on this level. And when you detect somebody who has that feeling of, you know, it's jealous, it's angry, it's mean, it wants revenge, and you know, it's so toxic, that you can lend a hand, you can offer your heart, you can offer your wisdom, and you can just demonstrate, inspire by living it.
So we talked about a couple of words. One is jealousy, and there's another word that's very close, and we talked about this earlier, was the word envy.
Yeah,
and
actually,
I think I'd like you to elaborate on your thoughts, because Stephanie and I had a little bit of a discussion in it, and trying to just understand what both words mean, but I like where you were coming from with your understanding of the word envy, and I think that would be a helpful principle, maybe just to help us understand what we do when we see a blessing that somebody else has.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a question that we received from one of our people on the blog, and just saying, what is the difference between jealousy and envy? So then I shared with Doug, we elaborate, we have our conversations, and we have fun about it. But really, for me, I took the word envy, and I put it how I use it in French, because that's, you know, those are my roots, that's where my heart is. And so for me, envy is like, it's when I desire somebody. And it's totally okay to have envy for something, because envy in a safe energy is actually just leading you to want more a little bit for your life, to open to what God has for you. And God has so many blessings for us. We are the only sabotagers of our lives, like of the blessings that are for us. We are the ones saying no. And sometimes just because we thought it was in a certain form, or in a certain time, in a certain location, or a certain person. So we are the only ones, the ones creating the block. So the envy for me in a healthy way is simply that I see something and I'm like, I would love some of that. And I remember early on, like probably about 5-6 years ago, when I was going to some seminars or retreats with some of my mentors, and I was seeing him, this beautiful, powerful man, and this absolute gorgeous goddess, I was like, and it was like such a deep envy, but not jealous. I was genuinely happy for them, genuinely happy for what they had and how they were inspiring people to have that. And only because it was envy, from a sense of my heart is yearning it, that I was able to open, and now today have that and more, because it's in my life and it fits with my purpose. So really, envy, I would say, don't close your heart to envy. And for example, when we were in Florida, we've seen some beautiful mansions and you know, like $1 million homes. And you know, I didn't have any sense of jealousy. And jealousy comes more from a place of being angry or resenting the fact that they have it and I don't have it. But envy, on the other hand, is simply, wow, I would love to open to that. And by the way, that was part of some of my requests. And now a little bit of a slight other part of the topic, which is when you desire somebody, make sure that it's not just for you. If it's for you ego-based, it's going to not be fulfilled. God will not honor a request that is just for your own sake, for your own ego. It's just not, or it will, but it will come to you in a different form, or with more difficulties or challenges to have it. If it's a pure envy from a place of a yearning and opening, and then asking God, well, this is what I would love because it can serve my purpose, or I can help others. It's not about you, then it has a totally different energy. And that's really the difference between envy and jealousy for me.
Well, and I think it's a good way to kind of wrap it up in a little package and say, we all have desires. We all have desires, and it's the motivation behind those desires, why I want what I want. And let's face it, when somebody else has something, is it really necessary that I have it? Maybe that's their blessing, and I should rejoice in their blessing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even for me. And so when I think about desire, and when you think about what you were saying, is when you saw something, the reason that was, and I'll use the word envious in a positive way, the reason you were envious of it is because it was a healthy desire in your heart to have that, because you believe that was part of your life purpose. And so when we come back to life purpose, ourselves, who we are, and our own truth, then that also sets a context for when I observe what somebody else has, I can be thankful for them. It's not even necessarily being thankful for me. I'm thankful for them that they have it. But it also allows me, again, from an enlightenment point of view, to be able to say, now, what is it that I truly need for my own life? So I like the way you capitalize that. And it gave me whole understanding of the word envy,
Yeah.
which I've always understood it coming from a negative point of view.
Well, we can check what the dictionary would say.
Yeah,
That was
maybe
just
we
my
can.
own dictionary, the dictionary of my heart. And it's just really my own experience. Just really realize when I'm jealous, I totally know the energy is very different. And it's just simply because I have that resentment, thinking that I cannot have it, or I'm not good enough, or that is a very, very different feeling in my whole body, in my heart.
Well, and again, another way to help understand the difference between the two, I guess, as you just said, is you feel the energy in your heart.
Yeah.
So very good observation. And it's important as we're talking about this and we're thinking about this practice. And again, I don't know how many, as you were listening to, reading the newsletter or listening to the show today, have had a chance to practice this. But think about that. Think about feeling that when you observe what someone else has. Think about it. What's going on in your heart? Because potentially there could be jealousy there, and you aren't even aware of it. And so we're talking about an energy that maybe there's something there that could be blocking you from the blessing that's awaiting you.
Yeah, that really leads to awareness. You know, this week with this practice, why don't you play with awareness? You know, how intimate you are with your own feelings, with your awareness of your own body, your own senses. And play with it. Just have fun. When you go somewhere, just decide that that's your little game. You're going to have some ultra sensors that are going to pick up on vibes and really read what your heart is teaching you about yourself and how you can grow. And then you can make a sincere choice that from jealousy, you make the conscious choice to move it to envy. So instead of being jealous of this person having this fabulous relationship and look at the beautiful man she has and how she dresses and blah, 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 then transcend all this toxicity into envy and say, wow, I'd like a little bit of that. Now, how amazing, and watch what results you create by just changing that little in energy.